Hello, hello, I didn't see you there. Just kidding, I just set up this camera. So I got back from Holland not too long ago. I am in sunny Toronto at the moment, and I'm actually filming in my boyfriend's loft because, I mean, this light, right? So I just got back from Holland. I am somewhat adjusted to this time zone. Had a little bit of a cold afterwards. Travel always gets me. It's that plane ride back. But actually, I've been thinking a lot about that entire trip. It was kind of a life-changing trip, actually. Not to be overly dramatic, but I'm gonna be dramatic. It wasn't life-changing in like something crazy happened, but it was a perfect time for me to reflect on my business and what is this treadmill that I'm running on? Do I want to be on this treadmill? I had a lot of questions. I even had a little breakdown on the airplane, so I'm gonna fill you in on all the details in today's video. Amsterdam. So I wasn't actually in Amsterdam. I was in a city right outside of it called Utrecht. I'm not sure I can actually pronounce it correctly, but it's like a 20-minute ride outside of Amsterdam. Super cute and quaint. I think I'd been to Amsterdam 3 times before this trip, so I was really loving the fact that I got to see another aspect of Holland. Holland is beautiful. The grass is so green. Hold on 1 minute. So where was I? We were hanging in Utrecht for the week, and it was a personal trip. My boyfriend, his family lives in Utrecht, so we just went there to check out the city, and we're supposed to chill, relax, you know, hang out with family. I had a friend train in from Germany, 5 months pregnant. I wanted to hang with her, and the trip just did not go as planned. It was not relaxing. I, like an idiot, planned 2 live classes and held them like the day I left for my trip to Amsterdam, right? So I held 2 live master classes, which I love doing. However, there's a lot of work leading up to the class and then a lot of post-class work too, with the emails and whatever, you know, whatever promotions going on, you want to let your audience know. So I like worked myself to the bone doing 1 class, you know, the day before we left, and then 1 class the morning that we left. So by the time we got onto the flight to get to Amsterdam, which was a red-eye, I was exhausted. And then to be on a red-eye flight, that obviously is not a recipe for a good night's sleep. So in the middle of the night during the flight, my boyfriend and I started talking about things that were going on. You know, we've been looking at houses, perhaps buying one, and the stress of what I'd been doing leading up to the trip, plus the stress of all these new big life changes, just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I started crying on the airplane. It was me at the window, my boyfriend in the middle, and a sweet lady from Nashville on the aisle seat, and I just had all the emotions going on that airplane ride as we were heading to Amsterdam. I'll be honest, it's not that uncommon that when I'm doing something live or launching something that I have an emotional breakdown. I think it's just my stress like building up, and then there is a release, and it's usually through tears. And so just by talking to my boyfriend about life stuff, it brought up all the stress and the emotions, and you know, there's a lot that comes with it, because when you're doing a launch, when you're doing anything where you're putting yourself out there, it's kind of a test. It's a test of your strength in a way, and I feel like the stress always adds up for me. And if things don't go as planned, one thought leads to another thought, and all of a sudden you're telling yourself you're a failure, which you're not. I sometimes have people coming up to me saying, Elise, how's your business going? It looks like it's going amazing. And I'll just be like, I'm gonna cry, because sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes you have one thought that leads to another, your expectations were not met, and all of a sudden you're feeling like a failure. That's what hit me on the plane ride to Amsterdam. and I just let it all out. My boyfriend was very understanding. I was trying to subtly cry so I wasn't disturbing everyone around me, but it was a cathartic release, and it was my first sign that things weren't quite right with me. You know, things weren't exactly in flow with my business if I was reaching that level of stress. I've hit that level of stress before, especially when I launched something for the first time, but I've been doing this online thing for almost 5 years and my own personal brand business for a good 2 years. So it's not like I'm new to this. So it really was a wake-up call. Why am I getting this stressed? So that was my first red flag. Then we got to Amsterdam, and like I said, it wasn't really a vacation for me. I was still juggling all the work that I had left over to do. I was ditching tasks that I normally would have to do so that I could actually spend time with my family and friends. You know, the stress continued to mount. And I tried to push some things aside, but again, that whole week, I just felt like something is not right. This whole aspect of bringing my work with me while I travel, it's been fantastic for many trips. But this is a trip where I wish I wasn't working. This is a trip where I wish I wasn't doing a promotion while traveling. This is a trip where I wish that I could unplug and just enjoy the green grass and the dairy and the carbs of Amsterdam and Holland, because there was so much to eat and enjoy. So I was trying to relax, but I wasn't doing a great job of relaxing. I was still working less, but really I was just pushing off a lot of projects that I needed to get done, and I was being the bottleneck for my team. All of this is a recipe for disaster, or a recipe for not a great business. So by the end of the week, I'd had a great time in Amsterdam, but I was still feeling exhausted. It's like I hadn't caught up from my work before my travels. Then I went traveling. Then I got on an airplane and of course landed in Toronto with a sore throat. All that work and stress had resulted in a lower immunity, and then I got sick. So it really highlighted to me that again, something was off, and I'm still in this phase right now of figuring it out exactly. So I came up with 3 things that I took away from my trip to Amsterdam. Number 1, I should stop pushing things to the absolute limit. I'm about to go on an international trip, and what do? I have a live class and a launch going on literally the day I leave. Like, why do I do that to myself? I should just chill and really take my time with any launches or anything live that I do and not try to cram it in between travel. So that was one big lesson. I've done this before. I continued to do it, and then I was crying on the airplane. So I'm gonna stop doing that thing. It's too much. I'm done. Over it. The second thing I realized during my trip to Utrecht was that continually traveling and bringing my work with me is actually wearing me down. I need to travel sometimes and just be on vacation. Like, no work, no sexy, you know, laptop on the beach type images or video. I am just there to turn my phone off and have a bit of a social media and digital detox. The more I work online and the more I work in social media, the more it's becoming important to me that I need time to turn off. So continually booking trips where I am bringing my work with me, it's not working for me anymore. So that's also gonna have to change. The third thing that I really learned in Utrecht was that things are shifting for me in my business, which is scary, kind of exciting because it's been a while since I've had a shift. And I have to remind myself that this is a normal part of doing business. It's not easy though. Like, this feeling of being unsettled, this feeling of friction, this feeling of doing what I'd normally do, but then it's not quite feeling right or good in the way that it once did. So it's bringing up a lot of questions. What kind of business am I creating? What am I doing with this business? Where do I want it to be in 2 years? Do I want this exact same business that I have right now for another 5 years? And I think I'm coming to the realization that no, it's not crafted the way that works for me for my long-term future. So it's bringing up a lot of questions. Well, what does that look like? What do I want? So I am really exploring some new topics, some new ideas like visualization, even, dare I say, manifestation. I'm really going deep into these topics that I've never really studied or gone into because I am open and willing to try anything. Like whatever is going to help me figure out visually and plan out in a strategic way the life and the business that I want, I'm there. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm in right now. I know there's a shift. It's exciting and scary and emotional at the same time. I'm talking to my business coach quite a bit. I'm talking to my boyfriend. You know, I'm reaching out to the support sources that I have to kind of get through this time. I'm also trying to enjoy it. It's not easy, but I know this is just a phase of my business, and once I come out of the other side, things are gonna look a whole lot different, and I'm gonna be very grateful for this moment that I have right now, this moment of struggle, this moment of feeling friction, this moment of trying to find what feels easy to me, what feels in flow to me. I know I'm getting a little woo-woo, but like I said, I am trying new things because I am determined to get to the bottom of this one. So there's a quick recap on my trip to Holland, Amsterdam, Utrecht. It was a super cool experience to hop over the pond and head over to Europe for less than a week. And it really was a catalyst for me personally to highlight that there are some things in my business that I am ready to reassess and change. And it's kind of scary being on that roller coaster right now, but I'm super excited to see what's going to be on the other side. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Let me know what you enjoyed most about it in a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. I'll catch you later.